All right, hello and welcome to Camel Finance. I'm your boy Camel, and today you can probably tell by my tone of voice, I'm quite disappointed actually. This is a different type of video for me, a different type of vibe. I didn't really want to have to go and make this video. I hoped I never would have to, but here we are. Ledger, look, Ledger have really messed up here, so I want to go through this for you. First of all, don't panic if you use a Ledger. For the time being, at least, your cryptocurrency is still safe. Any crypto you have stored on a Ledger cold wallet is safe for now, but it's really time to move away from this, I think. And hopefully, when we get to the end of this, you'll understand why. Look, last night, they announced this new idea for a subscription service that you pay $9.99 a month for. The problem is this really compromises the integrity of the cold wallet. So I'm going to go through this with you now. First of all, the core premise of this offering is supposed to be the ability to encrypt shards of your seed phrase into 3 pieces, give over your identity in a selfie recording, and then trust 3 separate custodians to secure those shards for you. So your seed phrase, of course, is what you use to back up your wallet in case of an emergency, in case you need to reboot your wallet if something happens to your Ledger cold wallet. And so here's how it would work. Your identity would be verified using your ID documents and a selfie recording. Your Ledger Nano would duplicate the secret recovery phrase and encrypt the duplicate. And then this encrypted duplicate is the backup for your secret recovery phrase. So the backup for your secret recovery phrase is linked to your verified identity, and then the backup is fragmented into 3 pieces. Each of the encrypted fragments is secured independently by Ledger, coin cover, and a third provider. So right away, alarm bells should be ringing here. The fact that you're going to have to verify your identity and link it to your cold wallet, but it gets a lot worse, unfortunately. So let's dig into this. Look, in order to use this system, you have to connect your identity to your Ledger account, giving yet another KYC, know your customer pain point for data leaks, hacks, and government censorship or surveillance. You're now trusting a third party with info on your ID and info on your crypto. So not only can leaks or hacks occur, because this third party company that has this information, of course, could be susceptible to leaks or hacks, but the sales of data on the users of Ledger would now be extremely valuable, and any authorized third parties could decide to leverage your data as income stream at any moment in time. But needless to say, this continues to harm our privacy. Most Ledger users use Ledger Live, which is a software that uses Ledger's nodes for all the wallet sync, revealing every single detail of the cryptocurrency activity and making it trivial for Ledger to link this to your ID itself. All of this KYC data is collected by a company called Onfido, who handle your KYC onboarding. They keep your ID, pictures, videos, sounds from your selfie video, and a holistic picture of your device and current activity when you upload and verify your identity. This company will have a complete picture of your identity and the fact you are a Ledger user, and thus that you hold a reasonably large amount of crypto. You'll also have a holistic picture of the device you use to authenticate. So now not only are we trusting Ledger, you'd also be trusting authorized third parties with your identity data and much more, along with the knowledge that you hold and use large amounts of cryptocurrency. So this is nightmare fuel that easily enables new threats. Obviously, if somebody can get hold of this data with your address, with your name, and knowing that you hold a significant amount of cryptocurrency, this could easily open the door to all kinds of other new threats. Moving on to the technical aspects, it's important first to understand that we have to just 100% trust Ledger here. The code for this entire process is closed source and unverifiable. It's not open source code, so we just have to take their word for it. Nobody can verify what actually happens or how secure this whole thing is. If you take their word for it, in theory, the seed never leaves your device in any unencrypted state. However, we cannot verify this, or be sure it's done securely, or be sure it's encrypted properly. This also means there's now code running on the Ledger designed to send your seed over USB or Bluetooth. So not only does this mean the wallet you thought made sure your seed never leaves the device can now become a hot wallet with just a few key presses. This also opens up massive new attack vectors for phishing and malware that can prompt you to unwittingly send your seed phrase to them. Remember, if the device is capable of sending your seed phrase across the internet, then that also means it's possible for somebody to steal it. We cannot be sure that Ledger built in safeguards against someone sending the encrypted shards all to one person. This is the thing. In theory, it's not too bad, right? They break the seed into 3 pieces, encrypt it, and send it to 3 different places. But how do we trust that those 3 parties will not at some point in the future conspire together to freeze or seize the cryptocurrency? And of course, because the code's not open source, there's no way to be sure that the encrypted shards can only be decrypted by the user. It remains completely unclear how this decryption process even works in the first place. But we do know that you have to log in and verify your ID. But if decryption can only happen on your device, how does the new device get the decryption key in the first place? So alarm bells are ringing here, and I hope they are for you as well. Look, normally in the end-to-end encryption schemes, you need a way to approve a new device and send it a decryption key. But in the case of losing your ledger, you cannot do that. So someone else must have a copy of the decryption key they send to your ledger when you recover it. So who then has this decryption key? Is it Ledger? Is it somehow encrypted behind your Ledger recovery, login, and ID verification? If so, how is it stored? Where's the encryption used? And how can we verify any of this in the first place? Remember, this code is not open source. The risks carry on here because if anyone was to know that you used Ledger Recover and they managed to get your identity, keep in mind, Ledger isn't exactly known for cybersecurity practices. They have suffered data breaches in the past. They could now theoretically steal all your cryptocurrency despite the ledger sitting safe and sound in a drawer somewhere. Remember, all they would need is to somehow access your ID information, and then in theory, they could get hold of the seed. This also opens, and I'll say this for me personally, this is the biggest concern for me out of all of this. Lastly, this opens up a massive government seizure risk. Assuming these third parties, these three trusted third parties that are going to hold a third of your seed phrase each, let's just give them the benefit of the doubt and assume there's no malpractice or no malicious intent from them intended. If the government comes knocking on the door and demands that they freeze and seize assets and hand over this information, then what are they going to do, right? There's nothing they can do. They would be obligated by law to hand over that data, and the government would potentially be able to seize the cryptocurrency. It's worth pointing out here, CoinCover and the identity provider Onfido are both UK based. The third custodian is not even named in the official docs, but was previously revealed to be Escrotech. If Escrotech is still the third custodian, they're US based, which would put 2 out of 3 companies within Five Eyes jurisdiction, i.e. the UK and the US. The government can easily come knocking and request all holder ID information and seize the funds at will. Again, this is the biggest concern for me. Seth here points out that he can't even believe that Ledger thought this was a good idea. There's no way anyone could have thought this was a good idea. I think they must have had their hand forced here, or they must have sold out. It breaks all of the previous reasoning for using a hardware wallet, i.e. cold storage, and it introduces KYC directly into the mix. Their cold wallet is not even a cold wallet, it will be a hot wallet once this is implemented. And remember, this comes with KYC as well. Not the sort of thing you want to see. This is abhorrent and extremely sad. So Ledger have completely lost the plot, or gotten blinded by their success, or sold out, or had their hand forced. Who knows? But their aggressively closed source nature makes it even harder to trust their claims. The thing is, once you lose trust, there's no getting it back. And that's exactly what we're seeing here. How could we ever trust this company again? So just to reiterate, your funds are currently safe, but I think it's time to move on. So it is time to move on from Ledger, unfortunately. Really heartbreaking for me, really, really disappointing, but it is what it is, right? Security comes first. I'm going to be personally looking into Trezor. I already am familiar with the Trezor, although they are certainly not faultless. I know there are some Bitcoin-only cold wallets, such as the Cold Card and the Blockstream Jade. I also hear Engrave is pretty good, so I'll be taking a look at that. But anyway, I'm sorry I couldn't bring you more positive vibes today, but I wanted to put this out as soon as possible. I wanted to give you an overview on this. I don't really know where we go from here, but I'm certain that we will be moving away from Ledger. So anyway, that's that. I hope you found this helpful. I'm your boy Camel, and take care. All the best. Cheers. Bye.